I'm Chris Kelly. Just bought a Can-Am Spyder RT Limited at Moto Member in Purcellville, Virginia. Place that I actually got the best deal that I could get, but they're a tough bargainer, but they did a great job. I'm here with Billy, a sales manager at Moto Member.
Three-wheel division, yes.
Three-wheel division, and so I'm trying to record some stuff so I remember this stuff, and I'll probably post this on YouTube at some point as well. But a couple questions for you as I'm thinking about it. Depending who you talk to and what I understand the manual says, premium gas only, or can you put 87 in here?
We recommend premium gas. Engine runs better. It's just like yourself, you like premium drinks. Your bike will like premium drink as well. So, okay. The better gas to put in, the better vehicle is going to run.
Okay, but is it damage it? If I'm obviously I have no problem putting premium, but is it something that voids the warranty if you put 87 in it or something like that, or ethanol versus non-ethanol? And
it's hard to determine for the manufacturer what gas you put it in. So if you want your bike to last a long time, put a premium gas in. It runs better, runs longer, and you will have no issues with it with your engine.
Just better off using it.
It's recommended by the factory and run it with.
Yeah, right. Do what they recommend. And it's what, 92 or 93, I think is what they say?
93. Some gas stations 91 to 93.
Okay, so a 90 and above.
90 and above, you should be fine.
Okay. Oil change from a break-in period. Do you wait till 3,000 miles, or do you change oil earlier when you're doing the break-in?
Very, very good question. Factory recommends 3,000 miles for service.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to hear that a lot. What do we do with our customers? We recommend 600-mile oil change only.
Say again, how many miles?
600 miles.
600 miles for the break-in.
After break-in period, because you have a lot of metal shavings running in your engine.
Okay.
You want to get the metal shavings out of your engine. I see a couple of times when the technician changed the oil, and at the bottom of the pan it has a magnet on the oil pan, the bolt. There's a lot of shavings out there.
Okay.
So we want to get that out of the engine as quickly as possible, and then do your first service at 3,000 miles as the factory recommends it. A lot of deals where you bring in the vehicle for 600-mile oil change, they said that you too early, come back at 3,000 miles. This is something that we recommend as from our dealership. It's not by BRP, and it's not going to void your warranty if you're not going to do it.
Right.
If it was my vehicle, I'll definitely do it. One extra oil change is not going to hurt anybody's pocket, but it will keep the metal shavings out of your engine.
Gotcha. So 600 is a recommendation, and then 3,000 thereafter.
3,000 is by the book. 600 is just from experience what we've seen with these engines.
Okay, good. Okay, so what I got on this one is I got the comfort seat, I got a phone holder, a bottle holder, backrest that's on back order, so that's going to be coming to me later, the handlebars, so my wife will be a lot happier when she rides with me, which may not be a lot.
Usually what I tell the guys who's thinking about buying a armrest and not the armrest, so I usually ask them a question: do you want to keep your wife? So if you want to keep your wife, you give her an armrest, but if the intention not to keep it, then you don't buy the armrest.
That's right. Well, I want to keep my wife, so
obviously you're keeping your wife.
That's the goal. Okay, good. All right, so let's I'm going to just leave my helmet off for now because I'm not going to drive it just yet. But might be nice if I grab the key. That's interesting. Okay.
Do you have the other part of the key?
I do. It's in my pocket here.
Do you know what that's for?
Just to hold the key. You're talking about this?
Right, this part right here.
Yeah.
A lot of customers ask me a question, what is this for?
All right.
When I don't need this. So this actually goes on your keychain with the rest of your keys. So when you keep your keys all together from your house, keys and car keys, and all one keychain, but when you ride this bike, you don't want to have all the keys dingling
and scratching everything.
Scratching your bike. So you pull this out, put one key in.
That makes sense.
And this stays with the rest of your keys.
That makes sense. Now, here's a complaint I've heard, again, just from the research I did, and maybe it's changed in 2021, that the finish is somewhat soft and scratches easy. Did they solve that, or is that still an issue that you need to be aware of?
As far as the paint coat on the bike, it does not scratch as easy. The only soft part is on these black panels.
The back panels, okay.
The black panels right here, they're really sensitive. It depends how you're going to wipe them off. Make sure you're clean rag and make sure there's no dust on them because you will do more scratching.
Gotcha. Okay.
A lot of times I see the guys doing it. There's available stickers. They use the carbon fiber look.
Yeah.
Just take it on and that way.
And that it just protects that one more step.
It depends what kind of look you want.
Okay. So from the last the test drive that I did, obviously, if you step on the brake, you turn the key on, it gives you that thing that tells you about reading your safety guide, again, the liability issue.
Right. So basically, it tells you before what the mode button does. You have to make sure visually check the vehicle, make sure the tires inflated. The visually the vehicle's okay to ride.
Right.
And you're not influenced with any kind of alcohol or anything.
Right,
else.
danger.
And danger. So
don't be stupid, in other words.
Right. Tell the computer, you hit the mode button, you tell the computer basically, wake up, I'm ready to go. That's what the mode button is for.
Okay. And then this bike, a lot of computer controls on this one. This has pressure sensor, tire pressure sensors, correct?
Does not.
It does not. Okay.
Does not have it.
Okay. Yeah, how do you turn that off?
Volume's right here.
Oh, so you just turn it down.
Turn it down,
okay.
the volume, yeah.
Okay, so I'll just start it up so it's basically, I got it in park. It's got to be in park, right? Which is this one. Oh, the red indicates the park, right?
Yes.
So that's park now.
You have
the kill switch.
Kill switch down,
and then
put your foot on the brake and hit the start button.
Okay. Now, and one of the things I want to do with you is connect I put BRP Connect on my phone. So I've got that on there. Actually, what did I do with my phone?
We'll get that in a second. Let me go over some safety.
Okay. Do we need to start it or turn it off?
Safety features.
Okay.
You can actually, I want to go over some shifting, forward, reverse.
Okay.
You know how to shift the gears and when do you shift between the gears.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the Spyder at all?
I've actually test drove one and
That's how much you know about it.
I start me as a beginner. I'm a beginner. I'm a two-wheel motorcycle driver.
Here we go. We're going to go through some very, very important exercise that will eliminate a lot of trouble down the road.
I appreciate that.
Okay? First thing, what I do with my customers, this is a little bit different than two-wheel motorcycle. Here, you actually have to move the handlebars.
Right.
Okay?
You don't lean into it, you turn it.
Lean and turn it, that's done. But the basic stuff, when you do the handlebar left or right, I want you to do this exercise for me. Turn the handlebar all the way to the left and all the way to the right. Just sitting still.
Just do it now?
All the way to the left and all the way to the right.
Yeah, so it hits your leg at that point, but
okay,
yeah.
Do it one more time. Okay. So you actually passed the test. What I actually was looking for, a lot of new riders, when you go left, they lock in the throttle. And when you make the turn, and unconsciously they're giving throttle to the bike.
Gotcha.
When you're in the gear, all of a sudden the bike takes off like a rocket on you, and you don't know what happened. And consciously, you're not throttling, but your hand is locked on the throttle.
Right.
Or you pull it. You pull to the right and you grab the throttle.
And you turn that as you're doing. Okay.
Okay. So there's a couple accidents, being prevented. Like I tell the customer, don't do that.
Right.
So you do your pull and push with your left hand, and you can support with your right hand. And what I do, I keep edge my hand in here, and I can support a little bit, and I still control the throttle.
Right.
You always have to be light on the throttle, be able to go through the turn with a very light throttle.
Now I noticed, by the way, when I did a test drive, because it's got power steering, that it was super sensitive to turns. I mean, I really said this is something I'm gonna have to get used to, because with a motorcycle you leaned and things like that. Just doing this, all of a sudden it wanted to turn.
Right.
Okay.
So you basically, when you're on the highway, you just relax your arms, doesn't make any turn, the bike will go straight.
Right.
When you have a little turn, you just adjust a little bit and bring it back. It's slide turns.
Right.
You make a sharp turn, 45 miles an hour, you'll be in a ditch and somebody will be pulling you out. You don't want that. So, as far as the turning left and right, you understand, make sure your hands is free in here.
Right.
Right hand is free.
Yeah.
I usually tell customers the root of all evil is right here in the throttle. If you know how to control your throttle, most of the accidents will be prevented.
Okay.
When you go through your turn, okay, you have to go with the throttle on the turn.
Right.
So you got to slow down before the turn, and you use your throttle to pull you through the turn, left or right. Coming to the exit, any curvy roads, you got to go through the turn with the throttle. If you're braking on a turn, you're going too fast.
Okay. Now this has some kind of an RPM control on curves. If you're trying to take it too fast, it adjusts the RPMs or something, I read?
No, it does not have it. So you control it. What happens when you're going too fast and one wheel starts lifting up, it has traction control.
Okay.
Traction control will basically take the throttle away from you.
It'll throttle it down. Okay.
It'll throttle it down, and it will slow you down if you're going too fast.
Gotcha.
On the turn. But,
okay.
Hopefully they'll never take to that.
Yeah. No, I'm not a wild driver.
You're not a wild driver.
No.
Good. You got to keep you safe.
How about I mean, the difference, obviously, I'm a two-wheel rider, and you lean into turns and things like that. I've heard some people on the YouTube say, you don't have to lean, others say you do lean. It seems to me that you have to lean, but what's the real rule?
You gotta be leaning 100%.
Okay, you're leaning in the turn just like a motorcycle, but you're not moving the motorcycle. That's the difference.
You're not moving. Let's talk about the leaning and moving the handlebars in a second. That's a valid question.
Okay.
So, what happened if you go 45 miles an hour and the road's turning? And if you're not leaning into the turn, the forces is taking you out.
Right.
You feel like you're getting thrown off the bike. So you want to go with the bike to the turn. If you go to the left, you go to the left. If you right, you go to the right.
Okay.
Imagine you go down the road, you have a dead end in front of you, right? And you're 50 miles an hour, and you want to go around it, right? You're doing a shift and a high speed.
Right.
You have to also practice at home a little bit, not just leaning. Shift all your body to the left quick, because if you go to the left, you basically shift the body to the left and then shift body to the right.
Okay.
If you don't do quick shifting, you'll be thrown off the bike.
Okay.
Literally.
So you're leaning and shifting to the direction you're going.
Right.
So right, you're going this, left, you're going that.
Shifting
Okay.
is you're doing an extreme situation when you're trying to avoid on a high speed.
Okay. Okay.
Leaning is basically when you sit in the bike, you're going right.
And you're just going in
So
casual.
the emergency times when you need to go quickly around it, you got to be able to shift
the weight.
quick on the bike.
Makes sense. Okay.
Practice it at home. Hopefully, you're never gonna have to use it.
Right.
If something on the road you have to go around, you need to have ability to shift your body pretty quickly.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right.
So, other cases especially come from two-wheeler. When I take customer on test drive and I watch them in the rear mirror, and they understand they're leaning, and the road curves to the right, and they lean so hard to the right. I can see in the mirror they're leaning, but they forgot to do the handlebar. They already in the opposite lane.
Oh, because they're thinking, yeah, right.
They already in the opposite lane on the incoming traffic, and they're still leaning, and they can't get the bike over.
Right, yeah.
You still have to use your handlebar
Right.
to turn.
So you still have to turn, whereas with a motorcycle, I would just push. I could push this and lean the bike, and yeah.
And here it's just a little bit corrected, and what you have to do, just like in the car, you keep it between the yellow and the white line. That's very simple stuff. Keep it between the lines. That's what they say, right? Keep it.
That's right.
Lines.
That's good.
But leaning is just for the gravity. Basically,
Gotcha.
you don't feel like you're thrown off the bike.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
So that's about leaning. Shifting, this bike, when you start riding it, it's probably shifting between 25 to 3,000 RPM. It's a good spot to shift.
Okay.
It depends on how you like to ride. You might take it a little bit higher, a little bit. If you do too low, the bike's not going to be able to shift.
Gotcha.
So between 25 to 3,000, but sweet spot. You do not roll off the throttle.
Right.
Two-wheel guys, they roll off the throttle.
Yeah.
You clutch it, you give the throttle again. Here, just hold steady. Then about 25, 27 RPM. Then you're in the second gear, third gear.
Right.
Just hold steady. That's all you're doing.
And it's six speed.
6 speeds.
Yeah.
When you run out of the speed, you're number 6. Just cruise down the street.
Yeah.
As you slow down, the bike will
Downshift for you.
Downshift for you.
I didn't have any problem on the test drive shifting up, but I did find myself constantly trying to grab a clutch.
Right.
And I also found myself trying to hit a brake too.
That's a muscle memory messing with you.
Yeah.
Some people take it to the extreme. They come to the stop sign, they're trying to balance the Spyder. I see that too. So 20 miles on this bike, you'll get used to it. Keep your feet on the board and relax your arms. You don't have to do work anymore. The bike doesn't work for you. So two-wheeler have to clutch it down when you come in and all the jazz.
Yeah.
And here, just like, all right, life is good.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
That's why these really nice bikes. If somebody doesn't have a whole lot of experience or one sick and tired shifting, this is a perfect bike.
Yeah. I like the shifting, but I do like the stability of a three-wheels kind of.
You can shift down if you wanted to.
Right. Yeah, I knew that.
There's a way to do it, but you don't have to do all the clutching.
All right.
So
before we go into this, do you have any other things, words of wisdom you want to give me before we talk about the screens?
Parking brake, parking brake, parking brake. Remember, the Spider-Man told you about the parking brake, which this button right here.
Right.
And then when parking brake is on, the light will indicate on your dash the parking brake is on.
Right.
You push this button, do it. Go ahead and do it for me. You push the button off.
And that turns it off.
Take your foot off the brake. The bike will roll, right?
Right.
Okay. Put the parking brake on. All right. So I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios, really safety-wise.
Okay.
Coming from two-wheel, you understand your bike will not idle in the gear.
Right.
It will stall out.
Correct.
Right? On this bike, because it's a semi-automatic, this bike will sit in idle in the gear.
Right.
okay?
Yeah, brake on, gear in. Okay.
Now
Yeah.
imagine this, you pull into the place of work, okay? I'm giving you a scenario. You pull into place of work, your co-worker runs out and says, you got a brand new bike, I love your bike, beautiful color, look at these lights. And the first thing they ask, let me hear the exhaust, how the bike run. And they grab your throttle, they go vroom, vroom,
Yeah.
right? You still sitting in the first gear.
Right, and you're not got the brake on.
As soon as they hit the throttle, the bike going to the wall, and you don't know what happened to you. And they say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. So, first thing you do when you come to the sitting still, before you get distracted, before you get your eyes off that cluster, hit that parking brake.
Okay.
Hit that parking brake. So, if your friend comes around and the parking brake on, I'm going to show you what's going to happen. Go ahead, put it in the gear for me. Hit the plus. Yeah, in the gear. All right, I'm gonna play this scenario. Take your foot off the brake. I'm gonna release the parking brake. Don't touch anything.
Okay.
Right now, the bike's sitting in the first gear and running.
Right.
What is it equal? Loaded gun till somebody pulls this trigger.
It's
right now, if I go vroom, the bike goes into the showroom.
Right.
So, if you had a parking brake on, and your wild friend comes around and does vroom vroom, watch this.
Oh, okay.
The bike screams at you, okay? Scares your friend, and you tell your friend,
Don't touch my bike.
Go see Spider-Man, he got some more, okay? Tell him they got some more, get your own. Don't touch my bike, okay? That's what you tell him. So
Okay.
that's very important. Or another scenario. Your wife says, honey, I'm gonna cook you breakfast, but I'm out of the eggs. Can you go get some eggs? So I got brand new toy, I want to go across the town to get some eggs because I want to ride, right? You want to get a bike, do some fun. You got the bike, you're ready to go, put in the gear, ready to take off. I'm sorry, I forgot my wallet. Let me run to the house, get my wallet. I'll leave the bike running. As you're coming on and off the bike, your hand slipped in here, and the bike is in the gear. Bike takes off, and you're on the ground.
Gotcha.
So when you're sitting still, make sure your parking brake is on, and preferably is in a neutral.
Right.
But
Which is just
yeah,
down, right?
just down, yeah. But the parking brake is on. It's a big deal. It's going to eliminate all the nonsense accidents. You know, if somebody can run their foot over and stuff like that. So always remember, parking brake on when you're sitting still.
Okay.
And that
Good.
light is on.
All right.